What's going on today? I'm going to be interviewing Diego B. Trades. He's recently been on the come up as a successful day trader, and you've recently been doing pretty well, and you've also been growing the socials on social media as well. Just want to do a quick interview and get some questions answered. I've been following, watching for a long time, so I found your journey to be kind of like relatable and inspiring in many ways. So I just thought I'd ask some questions.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to hop on, dude. I'm excited to do this, man. I barely do too much really. I started like people might think that I mean I don't really know what people think about me honestly. Like I don't really keep up with that. I just post my stuff, but people might think I live a certain way, but I really don't do too much. I mean I'm kind of like busy throughout my day. Like I got to go coach soccer tonight, but outside of that, dude, I'm at my parents' house and I just trade, go to the gym, run, coach soccer, repeat. It's a really boring life, so I'm excited to hop on and do something different. And I always say like if anyone like wants to do an interview like this, I'm down to do it because I would want that like when I did one with Blasian a while ago, like over a year ago, I was like it was cool to do, it was fun to do, so always down to do it. So I do yeah, I'm glad that you wanted to do one with me.
Yeah, of course. Definitely been something I've had on my mind. I wanted to interview someone because I originally watched I watched that interview because I think I started watching your channel. I'd say it's been over a year now. And I remember seeing that video when it came out. I watched the whole thing because I had watched Blasian before that too, and so I thought it
Yeah.
was kind of crazy that like two of the creators that I watch just happened to do interviews. So I was like, maybe I want to do that one day. But yeah. So first question I had, obviously this is probably kind of expected. When did you start trading? Like really like start placing trades, getting in the routine, and like what got you interested in trading?
Yeah,
Like,
so when I was in college, I was playing soccer and I was in just the middle of nowhere in Tennessee, and I'm from Florida, so it's like a big difference. The beach, just the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was like Tennessee's a nice place, but it's not like it was a small town, not much to do. Just playing soccer in college for college, but I never like planned on being in school at all. Which I'm not like one of those guys. Like I hate the people in the trading space that are like, oh, like people are wasting their time at college. They're trying to get 9 to 5. Like I'm not like a college hater. Like one of those like people that overly cringe about going to school. I just like personally, genuinely did not enjoy school, and I was kind of just like lazy at it. I was good at school, but I just was like lazy with it. Didn't really have like a direct like what's it called major. Yeah, my bad. Major. I was like, I didn't really have a major that I was like dying to do, so I just like felt like it was a waste. I was only there to play soccer, and I was like, I'm just gonna move home. And at the time, my dad has always been interested in trading and stocks like options, futures, and he was trading at the time, like kind of just really early into his journey. I didn't really realize it, but he was kind of just like just starting his like futures journey because he just retired, and he did well with like saving up and he did all the things he needed to do to retire. He's like 60 something now. So he retired and he was just like trading, day trading one day over Christmas break. And I mean, should not like looking back, it was like crazy to think, but he was trading a live account with his own money that he saved up and he was trading one or two mini contracts, so like full contracts on the NASDAQ while trying to like learn. But I saw him make like $1,000 in like 5 minutes and I was like, dude, like that like literally that moment just changed everything. I literally have a video on my phone from back in the day of him just doing that. I was like, that changed my life in a way that was like, okay, how am I gonna go back to school that I hate in the winter or not the winter after the winter break to go back to school? Like, why would I not try and start doing this? And it's like, at the time you kind of always think that's a scam, and it's like part of me sometimes still is like, dude, like, how is what I'm doing actually yield money? Because it just seems like so simple, even though it's not. Like, it's not easy, but it's like it seems easy, but then it's like you try, and then such a weird trading, such a weird thing. But when you first get introduced to it, we're all like a little, like at least for me, it was like more of like a just I'm like I like to gamble. I'm not like a big gambler. I don't like waste money. I'm really good at saving my money and keep my money, but it's just like I do have that. I like to risk things. So I just saw like the opportunity with it and was like, yeah, I just got to try this. So um, I remember watching TJR really because my dad was trading like a whole different type of strategy. So I was like, yo, this is cool, but I'm not really messing with all these different indicators, all this different like the math that they would be doing. Like I was just kind of being like not an idiot, but I just thought that if there's a better way to do it. So I kind of felt like that's why I'm so big on I hate people that are like frauds and I hate people that are not transparent about things because I mean I was the same type of person that got influenced by somebody like back in the day. Like I got influenced at the beginning of like, oh, it's this easy. Like this guy's making this much money. And it's like you don't when you first start like looking back now, it's like the people that I kind of trusted, not TGR specifically, but like other people. It's like looking back, it's like whoa, like that person, I was fully convinced, and they're just not actually. They're like completely scammers. Like now, once I've had 2.5, almost 3 years in the space, I can just easily identify a scammer. But when you're really new, like you really can't. Like you're really not gonna have the understanding of all the back end stuff. So that like going back to the beginning though, I just kind of started looking at it, saw TJR, saw that he was only like just looking at the chart, like he wasn't looking at any like there was no like math, there was no like news studying, there wasn't all this stuff that like you think. I think the trading space, like connotations kind of or I think that's the right word, connotation or like the expectation with trading I think is different now. I feel like when I started almost 3 years ago, it was more of like people thought it was like a nerdier thing or that you had to like be really smart or like read the news or like really keep up with geopolitics and stuff like that. So I kind of like thought that I didn't really know what was going to go into. I didn't know if I was going to have to start like researching a lot. But then I saw a guy like TJR making money just looking at the chart and explain his concepts. So I just started looking at that, went down the ICT rabbit hole with everything. Never really learned from ICT himself too much, and then really just built all my experience after that on with my own, just looking at the charts and just trial and error, which is kind of still where I'm at. Just keep progressing through that. So it's like I've gone through based on completely price action, but for me, that's like what it made the most sense to me because like if I can just do it straight from the chart, that's like way more fun than having to read a million different essays on the news and all this stuff and math and stuff like that. So maybe it doesn't work that easily, but that's kind of like a start. I kind of rambled there, but yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that's I mean that's a great answer to it. I mean, yeah, it's interesting because my dad also. I mean, my dad trades for a living. He's been trading for the past 20 years, but he swing trades and day trades options, which is a little bit different. And so I kind of have the same like starting story. Like I always was aware of the market and like I knew it was a thing and I knew my dad, was doing it. But then I really started to peak interest in it a couple years ago and it made, getting into it a lot easier. But yeah, that's super cool. That you just see him making that much and you're like, why would I ever want to not do this,
Yeah, literally,
But
literally. Like,
yeah.
why would you see, like, how can you see that and then know, like, because then it's like, okay, if somebody's doing this, I can do it. So it's like, why would I, like, if I know someone else doing it, I want to do it myself because it's just, yeah, it's just nice.
Yeah, I mean that kind of covers the second question. I was gonna ask, like who your first like mentor was, and by mentor I mean like,
Yeah,
who did you get your first, batch of knowledge, and to like
yeah,
use
dude.
the concept or their model, whatever. But that's, I
Now
mean,
it's crazy.
ICT and
Well, really. So it's actually crazy now. Like, it wouldn't have been as crazy a month ago, but I really actually the only person I've ever paid to learn from was Justin and Justin Werland. So the fact that now I'm 100% convinced that he's a fraud because I haven't. I'm gonna make a video myself actually on this, probably this weekend or sometime. But I mean, dude, I paid him $60 a month, which isn't crazy. Back like really early on for about 6 months, and I actually learned a lot, which is kind of funny because he apparently has made no money now, and I don't know if you've kept up with that situation at all or seen it.
yeah, I
Um,
thought so. He basically did it as like an attention grab to say he made no
yeah.
money, but did he
Well,
actually end up making no money, or is
so
that like,
the way the what it's left on. So why I think he's made no money is that he came out and did all that right. My idea, and this could all just be like this is just a theory. There's no like proof on my end, but he came out said that he wasn't making money. He probably realized he was about to get legal, like it's illegal, especially when he if he admits to it, then it's actual fraud. He probably realized the lawsuits were coming, and then was like, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna have to say that this was all for marketing. But the reason why I don't think the marketing claim makes any sense is because like, what's like the thing that you do if you're gonna like one? He had so much engagement, so many people talking about him, so much eyes on him. If it was marketing, why is like the when he posted that YouTube video that it was all marketing, he hasn't uploaded anything since. Which marketing 101 is when you get the attention, you're gonna just keep double, tripling down on getting like all of the stuff you're trying to promote out there. So it doesn't make any sense for that to be true. If like he's trying to do this for marketing and then he literally hasn't posted in weeks since then, and he also refunded like a lot of his students, which he was saying was like for the kindness of like whatever because of the stunt, but it just so from critically thinking about it, I don't think that he makes any money. I think it was just a way to save himself from getting lawsuits. So I until he proves without a doubt that he actually is legit, and he literally hasn't posted in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long it's been. So I just assume he's a complete fraud now because it just wouldn't make any sense. Even if it was for marketing, if he was like constantly posting still, then it would make some sense. But he's literally ghosted everything. So I'm just assuming that he's not legit. But that's so yeah, he was like the first person I learned a lot from really. And then I learned a good amount from mainly the entry model from Dodge. I didn't learn anything really about like my discretion or like whatever. It was really just the entry model. And honestly, most of the stuff I learned from Dodge, I think are like some of the bad habits I have, which are my break evens really quick. Because he would always go break even really quick, and that's something I still struggle with. That really annoys me. And it's like once you build a bad habit, it's very difficult to break. So like for me, I go break even way too fast a lot of the time. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. So I learned a lot from Dodgy, Justin, and I got first introduced like by TJR because of it, because of just seeing him do it. But then really, I think I would attribute all of my progress to just myself sitting there, taking the tools people say. But it's like at the end of the day, you really shouldn't take anybody's word for it because we're all going to look at the market differently. So you got to be able to interpret yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that discretion like builds over time. It's definitely like almost more important to have good discretion than even like any little
Oh
model
yeah.
from takeaway from anyone. Um, but yeah, at this time, I'm sure you had started posting by now. I was gonna ask like, how many videos did you start posting to before your channel really started to take off? Like, I think I heard you say one time that you posted for like forever and you got like no views, and then it started to shift like after a certain amount of time. What was that like when you were posting with like no views and you're learning how to trade still?
Yeah, so I mean, I completely started posting content, trading content because with really no, I had no goals. I had no expectation. I didn't think it was gonna do well. I mean, I knew that you could get viewers on YouTube. I have a personal YouTube channel that has like 500 subscribers. I did in high school, and it was doing all right. And I could get like sometimes I break like 1,000 views or like a few thousand views and stuff like that. So I kind of understood it, but I really just I was wanting to just upload my videos onto YouTube, my like breakdowns or like my analysis or my pre-market thoughts, and I used it literally as a journal. And I would just record my session or after the session and talk through price. And then I would just upload it to YouTube because it would take the storage off my computer. So I was like, okay, cool. Like this, I have this file. Man, my hair's looking crazy right now. I had this file that I would be able to just upload onto YouTube and it would take all the space off. I could delete the file from my computer. So I just started kind of like that. And I remember, so I started posting about 7 months after I started trading. And I started posting January something of 24. So 5, 26. Yeah, so it's been 2 years now posting on YouTube, over 2 years. And I really just started posting like that. And then I remember the first like my videos would get literally say no views, and then I would get a video that would get like 5 views, and like two of them would probably be me, and then I would get a video that would get like 12 views. I was like, oh, like that's like more than normal. And I remember maybe a few months in, like 2 or 3 months in, I got a video with like 50 views maybe. Um, and really until I'm trying to think when it really started. I think into May, I hit 100 subscribers, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" Like, I really thought, this really not to downplay 100 subscribers, because like I don't want to downplay 100 subscribers at all because it's still really good, and that's the hardest. Like the hardest subscribers you'll get is the first 100, especially because I wasn't posting short form. Trading space was a little bit smaller. It was still like growing, but it was a little bit smaller. I didn't post on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or anything. It was literally just YouTube. I didn't tell anybody or family, friends. So like I literally started at zero and kind of did it a harder way than you really need to, but I just wasn't really trying to just grow socials. And in May, it hit like 100 subscribers. Actually, I'm gonna pull up a screenshot hopefully and see what that is. Hopefully I can find it in 2 seconds because it should be right where I think it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, uh, okay, yeah, I have a screenshot. Here's a screenshot of the view counts. You probably won't be able to see it, but I'll just read them off. I mean, there's really no reason for me to lie. The screenshot was from April 2nd, 2024. The video had 3 views, 5 views, 17 views, 38 views, and 20 views. I was taking the screenshot probably to show the 38 views because I would have thought that was crazy. April 2nd, I had 16 subscribers. I didn't even have a profile picture. I got 84 views, and that was all from like a YouTube short. I don't even post shorts anymore. And then I have a screenshot a week later at 57 subscribers, and I had a few videos hit. I had a video hit 500 views. So a month later, I just started getting some traction, and then let's see where we got 100 subscribers. I think I got 100 subscribers in on May something. So around May, I got 100 subscribers. And then over that summer, I got to 1,000 subscribers at the end of the summer. I remember that because I just started posting, like doubling down on just posting every day. I posted a recap every single day. And I say this now, if I started exactly what I did back then today, it wouldn't work because um, just there's way more people doing it, right? There's way more people posting their journey, posting their transparent journey and stuff like that. So I started it not for any specific reason, but nobody was also doing it either. So I remember this one kid that really inspired me to do it. I don't even think he makes content anymore. It was Caleb Sutton or Sutfield or something. Sutton. I remember he was posting his videos on Instagram and he was posting like him trying to become profitable. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he had like 10,000 followers on Instagram because he was literally like the only person that was like unprofitable posting. So like everybody that was trading would just like he was like the only one. And he did YouTube and he had like 1,000 subs and he would live stream every day. And I kind of was like, dude, I'm gonna start posting too because like it's kind of cool. So I really and then Q, you know Q, at all? He was like the only other one posting too. I was like, dude, like there's like nobody really doing it. And then maybe I was like missing some people, but those are the only ones I saw. So I was like, okay, like this is where I'm at right now with my trading. I'm just gonna post from here. And yeah, it took about 6 months, 5 6 months to get to 100 subs, and then 3 more months to get to 1,000 subs. I really haven't grown that rapidly in relation since then. November last year, so like 3 months ago, was my biggest month. Actually, I did like 1,000 subscribers. But it's been kind of hard. Like this last month, I've done like 170. So it's just like it's kind of like ebbs and flows. But that's the biggest thing with YouTube in general is that you just got to ride the momentum, try and figure out like I'm not really doing things specifically to get like viral content or change anything up. I'm just doing what I'm doing, and I'm waiting for the my better trading to come in, and hopefully that will get me a bigger audience. But I built a good core. Hopefully hit like 10,000 subscribers this year. I hope I can hit way more. Like truthfully, I hope I could hit. I mean, there's no like you could hit 50K, 100K. Like I could hit 50K, 100K. It really like I don't really like setting goals because then I think it just kind of try. I just like to try and keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. But yeah, it was about June, hit at the end of the summer, August, September-ish of the first year of posting. I got to 1,000 subscribers and got monetized about 9 months after I started posting. So that's relatively quick, but at the same time, there's gonna be people that do it way quicker than that now because it just really depends. It depends on how good you are, how motivated you are, how innovative your content is. And like I was saying before, I don't think what I was doing would work again. I just kind of came in at the right time and it kind of worked. Like, but that doesn't mean it's not to discourage people. It's just you got to find something that's gonna work now. You got to be like more not and not what I was doing is innovative either. I'm not trying to like gas myself up. It just there wasn't many people doing it, so there wasn't much competition. Just the same way like TJR. It's like I really like Patty PB. I really like him in terms of his content. And I really think that if he was earlier than TJR, he would be the biggest guy in the space. I don't think he has the same work ethic and work rate for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he works hard, but like TJR is just a different level of hungry. Like a 30-day stream is crazy. Like regardless of what you think about his trading or the 101 scandal and stuff like that, like whatever you think about TJR as a person, he posts a ridiculous amount. He is a grinder. He's really really good at what he does. So he's kind of like Mr. Beast, where he's gonna work harder than the other people in the field because he wants to be number one. But I do think that if somebody else had the same mentality, like anybody could have done what TJR did, but he was the first to do it, so he's gonna be number one. But if you want to beat TJR, you got to figure out a different lane. You can't try and beat him with cars. You're not gonna get better watch than him because he's gonna have more money than you right now. So you can't out car, you can't out watch, you can't out whatever. You got to think of something new. You got to have your own lane, and that's the difficult thing with social media is that you got to have something interesting about yourself or something unique for people to follow you. But that's like if you want to be number one. Like if you want to just do it and succeed, you can do it and succeed. So it just depends on your goals. And I'm kind of like in the middle ground of what I want. Like I don't really want to be number one per se, but I want to just get to that like 100K mark where it's just like it's just flowing. But got a lot of work for that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think I started watching your recaps in general. I think um, coming up on 2 years ago, it would have been that summer you mentioned you got to 1,000 subs by the end of the summer was when I started like genuinely trading every day, trading, and I got into ICT concepts as well. And that was I think the very end of August, like beginning of September is when I think I started watching your videos. And then I just thought like, might as well just watch these each day because, I thought at the time like you're in a similar trading position as me. It might be like valuable for me like to see other perspectives, like did you take this trade? Did you take that one? Whatever. Did you, fade that trade? You get it. But and then I posted for a bit like later that fall. I think I posted 60 days in a row and it got me to like 40 subs. And then I went like 4 months without posting a single video. Just life stuff and everything. I was still trading, but I wasn't posting anything. And then I started posting again like 3 months ago every day. But yeah, it's just interesting to see how like since you got in so early, you're like the only one doing that like you got a lot of attention from that. And I mean, you had that one other person you said who had like what was it, 1,000 subs and he was unprofitable, or 10,000 subs.
Yeah, Caleb something. Caleb,
Yeah,
I gotta find his thing. He doesn't even. I don't even know if he really posts anymore. I don't really know if he trades anymore. He wouldn't. I don't know. It was interesting, but he did it early and like it worked, but then it just kind of fell off. I know, like, I'm trying to think, but there's this channel, and I want to shout it out kind of because he's been posting a ridiculous amount. His channel name's Peasant Ambition. I'll send it into the, let me send it. I'm gonna share it into this. I'm a screen share for a second,
for sure.
if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Um, so I don't know if you let me know whenever you have it clicked up to the video if they can
Yep,
see it.
it's on there. Yeah,
And this dude right here, 300 subscribers. I'm not subscribed on this account because I have an actual account I watch YouTube on. Let me hopefully I don't. Yeah, like I don't watch YouTube on this account. It's just what I post on.
yep,
My YouTube account's actually my personal one from high school, but that's besides the point. But I'm subscribed to this dude on my other account. And this dude is, I mean, he hasn't posted in a while, I guess. Oh no, 3 days ago, yeah. But this dude has been grinding it, and it's like 684 videos. Like he's not great at making content, but he doesn't make bad content. It's just that's the thing about that with social media. It's like, dude, I'm more inspired by some of these guys that like this. I'm more inspired by this guy, and I've been keeping up with his stuff a little bit here and there. Like I watch a video once a month, but I'm more inspired by this dude than TJR or Patty and Blake and all these guys. Like I'm more inspired by this because this is the real this is the reality of trading. There's every success story. There's a million of guys like this that have been doing this for literally years. Like if I like go to his channel, oldest video, he's been doing this like he's been posting for 5 years, and he's like still trying to become like profitable and consistent. And I like this because this guy's not here. He's literally not here to scam. He's literally not here to make a quick buck, and I really respect this. And he's just a grinder, and who knows why it's taking him so long or whatever. But I genuinely love channels like this. He's like my go-to example with all this. And I'm just gonna stop screen sharing now. But he's like my go-to example, and it's just like it kind of is frustrating that the trading space is so attention-seeking. Which again, I'll play the game too because that's like, and like I say that all of it's just luck or consistency or whatever social media, but there's obviously skill to it. I mean, I know which titles are gonna work better, and I have a path to where I could help blow my channel up more eventually that I'll try and take eventually when it's the right time. But it is real. It's just about. It's like figure out what your real goals are, and I've kind of like learned that for myself. It's like I don't really want to be a guy that's doing like I don't need to do a 30-day live stream, like TGR is doing to try and become like super super mainstream. But then it's like, you have your expectations and your day, and you're kind of setting your expectation towards this idea, this dream that isn't actually something you're chasing. I've tried to manage that a few times where it's like, okay, Like we were talking about a little bit before we started recording for this, like I personally like 5K to 10K, which 5K is on the smaller side, but 10K is not like retired in a year. That's like my goal. Like that's my like zone where it's like that's what I'm looking for. Obviously, I want to do way more than that a month, but I have to remember it's like I'm not here. Like I'm not worried about having the nicest car, the nicest watch, the nicest whatever, like the stuff that you need $1 million months for. I would love to hit $1 million month for sure, like we all would. But if I try and just set my expectations and my like happiness on these big metrics, I forget why I'm even doing this, which is to make 5, 10K a month, not have to worry about work, whatever. And it's hard because YouTube, something about YouTube that I kind of dislike with social media is that because it's worked for me, like in a sense, like it started to make money for me. It started to get some followers. It almost makes it's like I'll be more frustrated when a video flops on YouTube than I am when I have a losing day because it's just like it's the same thing as like losing trade. And people that don't post, obviously you post content, so you get it. But it's like for people that don't post, it's frustrating to like post a video and it gets less views, or you're like growing at a certain rate and you're seeing that and you're used to that money. It's kind of like when you're trading. It's like if you start getting used to 5, 10K a month trading and you start going back to like 1K a month, 2K a month, it's like it's a frustrating thing. It's the same thing with content. And that's something that people don't really realize that it does affect you. And it's like then I sit back and I realize it's like, okay, well, why like the only reason I'm affected by this is because I'm worried about things I don't actually care about. I'm worried about dollar amounts I don't actually care about. I can just be happy with where I'm at. But it's super difficult because again, you're gonna compare yourself to the biggest guys in the space that are doing $1 million months and just like crushing. And it's just that's the hardest thing with this, with trading, with literally just live trading, anything is just not crushing your own enjoyment in life because of other people's results and what other people want out of their life and just being able to be happy. But that's like a whole different conversation is just being happy with where you're at and what you're doing. That's like that's the key to all of life. I feel like is just being able to be content with what you're doing, but it's difficult, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's like if you're constantly seeking more and more, as well as, ignoring where you're already at, or like the life you can build with, like, certainly, like you said, like 5, 10K a month, like that's great. Like you can do a lot with that. If you're currently, like, if you're always looking for, 20, 30, 40K a month and just always more and more, you're never going to be satisfied. You're never like really be able to appreciate what you built.
Yeah.
Yeah. So passing your first funded account, how long into trading was that? And then what did that do to your psychology? Like you had gone
Yeah.
from blowing so many and then you passed one. Like how did that feel? Like what did that do? And how long into your trading was that?
Yeah. So I started trading and it took me about I went really conservative with it. So I always see these people and I'm not the benchmark of getting to a payout, getting to a past account. Like there's gonna be people that do it way quicker than me. That's just the reality of it. But I'm not like the slowest too. And I realize that. So it's like I kind of look at my journey. I'm like, okay, there's gonna be people. I never am gonna say, oh, because this guy can't do it quicker than me, because that's crazy to say, right? Like that's just ego talking. Like, of course, there's gonna be people quicker, but there's also gonna be people slower. It took me a year and a half to pass an eval, but it's like I definitely could have passed quicker. But I was really good at. I was buying one evaluation a month. Like I was spending $50 on the month. And I was trading 2 micros. Yeah, I would have a day where I would crash out and go 5 micros or 10 micros and blow the account or whatever, try and get back to even. Like I never would even like I would never like increase my leverage and make a lot and pass it quick because I would only increase my leverage if I was down, and if I was down, I would always close it when I was back to even or maybe like $100 up. So like the crash out days never would help me because they would just get me back to even on the day. So it's not like I had a crash out day and made 1,500 and half past the account. I would just have a crash out day and like not lose the account. So I was really good about just trading 1 or 2 micros, 3 micros, because every single person that I was learning from was like, oh, it's gonna take this much time, or it's gonna take a lot of time. Like you gotta work on your strategy, all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I believe this. Like I'm not just gonna like it's not. It would be so silly for me to try and pass my account and pay $150 activation fee because I was trading Top Step at the time. I was like, that just sounds like a lot of money. I didn't like I literally had like 500 to $1,000 my entire time trading when I started. So it's like, dude, I'm not gonna spend $150, like 20% of my bank account on an activation fee if I'm not profitable yet. And all these people that I learned from are saying I'm not profitable yet because I've only been doing it for whatever months. So it took me a long time to pass an evaluation. And I mean, like my psychology has always been kind of my has always been my worst part. Like I'm really confident with my ability trading. I'm really confident with my competence to trade, but it's just like, man, I don't know what it is. This is the hardest thing to do. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the hardest thing in the world, but it's a really difficult skill to do. I mean, just sitting there risking money, you're attached to making progress because you want to pass that account. You're attached to making progress because it feels good to take a winning trade because it gives you this validation that you're getting better in a sense, even though obviously like anybody could technically win a trade, but you want to see your setup play out. You want to see your setup win a bunch. You want to feel like you have the ability to avoid losses. So then you start doing things to try and avoid losses or losing days. So I mean, still the same stuff. I'll still battle with it, but after passing it, it gave me just, it was really a relief feeling because after 1.5 years of trading, that was about a year's posting on social media. So saw a lot of people that started trading 3 months before and passing before me. So like I saw a lot of people come into the space, pass their accounts before me, get a payout before me. I was like, man, like this sucks, but I didn't really let it knock my confidence too much because I just still knew it was a process. But I was really just relieved because after a year and a half, I mean, most people, not most people, but some people pass it in 3 months or like their first month or 6 months in and get a payout 6 months in. So I was starting to just get really restless. So then it became more and more like the longer you go without the payout or without the past account, you start caring about that more. So then the closer you get, like I remember I would get like $2,000 too on the eval, and I'd be like 1,000 away from passing, and then I would just like blow up on a loss because I was like so close in my mind to get that past account. And I would literally like tell my mom or my dad when I talk to them, I would be like, oh my gosh, like I'm like 500, like $800 away, like I don't really care. Like I'll just do anything to pass this account. Then I'll follow my rules once I pass the account, which is just a stupid mental thing, which isn't like actually real. It doesn't work that way. But like you just tell yourself, if I just break my rules and pass my account, like I just want this so bad, then I'll just do the right thing. But it's every day you got to make that choice. So I was kind of relieved. And then I'll just kind of like keep the story to the payout because then after I passed the account, which was January of 2025. I remember passing in January. I ended up passing another one like the same month because I was like, okay, I have one, but I worked like a year and a half to get one, so I'm gonna get another one before I even start trading the past one because I don't want to have one because then if I lose one, then I have nothing. Then I'll be like worried again. So I was like, let me get two, so that way if I have one, I can lose the other one. It's just like you're just constantly kind of coping with it. Like it was just all cope. Looking back, it was just cope. Like, oh, I need a second one so I could feel confident losing the first one, but it's like that doesn't make any sense. So then I set at the time with Project X, I set like the $200 max loss, lock me out, whatever. I was doing that, or like $400 or something. So I'd have like a day where I would like win $100 or 200, and the $200 day was like the hardest thing ever for me to do for a long time on Top Step because I was like so focused on oh my gosh, if I got five of these, I can get a payout. So I would literally just like, I mean, I would trade 1 and 2 micros still, and I could like barely get the $200 days, and it was just like the most ridiculously hard thing ever. And I remember getting like fours or like three or something on my first time I passed the account, and then I just slowly bled the account out over like a month. I would just hit max loss, which was like 400. I would set it out at like 350 or something. I would like hit max loss, and then I had like a small win day, and then I hit max loss, and just eventually lost the account after like 2 months. Didn't even get close to a payout. And then the second one that I had passed, I ended up trading that one for, I can't remember actually now if that was the one I got a payout on. Maybe it was my third account. I think my third account. So I had that account. My second one passed, but again, at this time, it's like most people say, "Oh, I think actually, yeah, my second account." I could literally be wrong. It could it's like be second or third. I can't remember at this point. Which, in the moment, it was like such an important thing that it's like I'm surprised I could even forget because I put so much like mental energy into like these accounts. But either second or third account, I remember having my past one. It was like in May of 2025. So like 6 months, 5, 6 months after I started trading the second account. And again, mind you, I've been trading for almost 2 years at this point. So like I knew I had the skill set to trade. I just didn't have the ability to lose money. I just did not have that ability to lose an account, to lose money, to risk money. I was barely making any money at all from social media at this point. Like I was making 500 or less a month, and like 500 is like the most I was making from social media at the time. So it was just like I wasn't making much money to afford. I couldn't afford to just buy an account, blow it, lose it, pass it, whatever. And I remember this account, the same thing kind of happened. I was just slowly bleeding all the way down, but I wasn't really not following my rules well. And then eventually I was just like, I had $200 left on the account. Like I had $200 of drawdown left at like the lowest. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna blow another account. And I put so much energy into it and so much time. I passed my first account in January. It was now June. It was like June of that same year. I was like, dude, it's like I've made no money. I've been on the same two accounts and I've just been trading them. And I remember being 200 drawdown, and I was like, I'm just gonna full port this. And then I was like, there's literally no point. Like, what if I just try and risk like 100, $200 a trade, do one trade a day, literally no matter what, because I just never stuck to my rules. And I mean, from June 16th or something like that till July something, like a whole month, I literally stuck to one trade a day, and it saved my trading. It saved that account. I brought out a drawdown and got it eligible for my first ever payout, and that was really cool because it gave me a lot of confidence because it wasn't luck. I had some days where I took a bad trade, but I stopped. I had some days where I took great trades and I stopped. And the one trade day, I will preach it, but I don't do it now. Maybe I should do it now. I don't really do it now because it does make you miss setups. It makes you overthink setups. It kind of like because if you're 5 minutes in a market open and you see a great setup, you're thinking, oh well, if you know you're gonna lock your account after one trade, it's kind of hard to say, yeah, I'm gonna take this trade because then you're like, oh, what if it loses and I miss the rest of the day because I'm done for one trade. So I don't really like one trade, but if you're really, really, really down bad with your psychology, like you never pass an account, you cannot get a payout, and you've been doing it for a while, and you really think, because I really had the confidence, like I know what I'm doing, like I've got the skill to do this, I'm just physically not able to do it. The one trade they saved it, and I went on like I would say I had a lucky period because I just won. I think I won like 12. I won 12 trades, lost like one. So it's like I just was really doing well. But it just kind of showed me that it is possible, and I got the payout from that account, and I got a payout from the next account after that. And then after that first payout, I got a payout every single month since, besides February, and I've just been doing better. And then after that, you run into the problems of trying to scale more accounts. Then you have to deal with risking more. And it's just always like I love this analogy. I've probably done it so many times, but it's just a stair step. It's like when you take the next level and stair and you slide your foot forwards at that current level you're at, eventually you're gonna hit that like wall per se, or that small part where you got to go back up. Like, and everything in trading is like, okay, you passed your first funded, but you can't stay on that level of passing your first funded. You gotta get payouts. So you got to climb that mental barrier to get up to that next step. And then once you get that next step, that's getting your first payout. You can't just stay on that first payout. You got to get to maybe you copy trade three account, or maybe just your second payout. And then boom, you get that second payout. You're on that next step. But it's like you always got to get your steps higher and higher, but you don't like you're gonna run into that wall. Like, again, if you slide your foot forwards on a step, you're gonna jam your toe into that. I don't know what that even is called. It's not like a wall, but obviously everybody knows what a stair looks like. I don't know what that is, but if you just stay on the same spot and you shove your foot forwards, there's gonna be a little space, but you got to increase. So it's like every time you make that increase, it's like you're almost starting fresh. You have the advantage of having the skills you built, but that's like right now where I'm at. It's like my sometimes people will see my psychology and it's like, oh, my psychology hasn't got better, but it has got better. I'm just trading more accounts now. So it's like I'm gonna make similar mistakes as when like I used to be terrified to take a trade with one or two micros on a combine. Now if I did that, I wouldn't be afraid at all. I could let my trade play out perfectly. But I'm not in the same position that I'm gonna trade one combine with one or two micros. Like that's not the position I'm in because it doesn't make sense. So now when I'm copy trading, like at the most I had in January, I had like 20 Apex accounts. That's like a more terrifying thing. So it's like I had the same fear when I was trading 20 accounts as I did when I was trading one a combine. So it's like you're always pushing yourself to get to these new goals. And that's not to like be an excuse, but it's to just give yourself that freedom of like, hey, I'm like, this is difficult. Like what you're doing, you're going to a new level. And I made an analogy on one of my videos one time where it's like, if you take somebody and I don't know if you know anything about soccer or what sports you like.
I mean,
What sport would
like I don't know, basketball.
basketball? Okay, so like I maybe I don't know too much about basketball like in terms of leagues and stuff. So like this may be bad comparison, but it's like okay, if you take someone that plays in like the European League, right? So they're like a professional in the European League, like good player, right? That's their level. If you put them into a high school basketball game, they're gonna obviously be the best player ever, right? So it's like if you're at a level where you can get like some payouts, but you're not like crushing 100K months or 10K, 20, 30K months for payouts, but you're just getting consistent payouts. Like you're getting like 1 to 1 to 3K a month in payouts. So like you're in that European league in basketball, right? If you go and put them on in a high school team, which would be like one combine with one account, like no risk, they're gonna probably do really well in that team because they're play like their levels here. You
Yeah,
put them here. If you take them, put them in the NBA on the best
they're
team in
gonna
the
have the
NBA
same
playoffs,
struggles.
they're gonna struggle because
Yeah,
they might have the skill set, but they're taking that next step in their journey. So there's a lot of players that transfer from the European league, but it takes them time to get used to it. So they're gonna feel more pressure, right? They're gonna have more pressure. So it's like when you go to 20 accounts, you might have the same skill set, but now you have more pressure. It's like why do you see players when they play in the Super Bowl, they're gonna have more pressure than they would have when they played the regular season all the year. So it's like you got to remember that's the same thing happening with trading is that you're getting more pressure. So you're not nothing's changing. You're still throwing the ball, shooting the ball, whatever you're doing, but now you have more pressure on the line. So you're gonna crumble. And it's like why you see huge star athletes crumble under pressure. It's the same thing with trading. Like trading is very similar to professional sports, being an athlete because it's all you versus you making decisions. Like it's different, obviously. It's not like it's not the same 1-to-1, but it's a very similar emotional battle. Same thing like with Tiger Woods with golf. Like he went through a period where he's really struggling when he had a lot of stuff in his personal life and he could not hit the ball well because he was just like struggling. He had a lot more pressure, he had a lot more eyes on him, a lot of media pressure, all this stuff. So it's like, but he's the same player, he's the same skill set. It's just like our minds really encapsulate most of the problem. So that's like a long way to answer about the first passing account, but it really just all kind of like ties all the way through. It's like the same struggle to get the first pass account is the same struggle to get the first payout is the same struggle to get consistent payouts, the same way to get the first 10K month. Like all of it's the same exact thing. It's just at a different level. So the reward for me now is like today. Like I didn't really trade well this month so far, but I'm getting my second payout tonight. I could get a third payout tomorrow if I make $200 on an account. So it's like my floor now, like I'm not doing that well. I'm making a lot of mistakes, but like now because I'm at a higher level per se, I'm getting more of a reward for that lower tier. But it's like where I could be if I was operating better, if I was operating like I've been on a pretty good win streak, but I've been over managing positions, going break even early, taking a bunch of forced trades that I'm taking stupid losses on. Like if I was just trading efficiently, I could have been on a huge month this month and could have been at a 10K, 20K month from payouts. But I'm not. If I didn't blow all my 20 Apex accounts in one day because I crashed out, I could be on a huge payout. So it's just there's always levels to this, but that's the thing, man. It's like I post on social media, so I like open up myself to target on my back basically. But um, people are just ridiculous with it. They want to like hate on people and they want to like put people down, but it's like they're doing the same thing. Like this is a difficult skill. This is a difficult journey. It's an emotional journey, and anything you involve with money is gonna get tricky. So that's why like everyone that's not posting social media content, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, I wouldn't take it back because I like making content. I enjoy it, and I want to keep growing my social media. But it definitely makes things harder when you have people just like criticizing every single decision you make it's a very hard skill. And I never want to underemphasize how difficult trading is because it is difficult.
for sure. Yeah, no, that's a really good way to look at it. Like different levels, but it's the same challenges every day. Like you're gonna challenge with the mental stuff. I mean, like as players go up into higher levels of play, like they have the same skills before. Like you have the same skills you had when you
Yeah,
weren't getting consistent payouts, but now it's just taking that with more pressure.
yeah,
It's a really good way to
yeah,
look at it. Yeah, and yeah, just no matter what you do, anyone on social media is gonna have something to say, even if they're like nowhere near as in a good of a place as you are as far as success. Yeah. So that answers like the funded question I had. So that quickly back to that first payout. Oh, sorry, not the first payout. Your turning point to actual consistency, like now getting a payout like every month pretty much, besides February. Or wait, yeah, besides February.
yeah.
Um, what in your actual trading, like placing trades at this point and like making better decisions, what do you think has been the biggest like takeaway as far as what has changed? Like whether that's like avoiding losses more often or maybe something with the model or you know what I'm saying? Like what's been the
Yeah.
biggest turning point?
Yeah. So like sometimes when I say like, oh, like whatever, like I've gotten better at trading. Your trading's gonna get better. I can understand which trades are gonna lose more efficiently. But it also like, and I haven't completely removed tilt. Like I went on tilt in February, blew all my accounts. I went on tilt literally like last week, blew all my accounts, got them back quicker, got them to the buffer, got them to winning days, whatever, quicker. But like I haven't eliminated that yet. Once I can eliminate that, my trading's gonna go to a whole new level. Because that's a huge thing that just doesn't need to happen. But what it was for me was when I did stick to my rules that for that first payout, it really proved that hey, I actually have the skill for this. That is not just luck because a lot like I was very skeptical of trading because I knew that people could just I knew that there's a lot of money to just lie to people and sell a course and all this stuff. So like I really was always just like didn't believe it, couldn't believe it would be this easy. Like, oh, I'm gonna see a SMT and a fair value gap and whatever, and it's gonna make me money. Like it just kind of seemed like too far fetched and too like get rich quick scheme. So I'd always like overthink, and I really do believe like the people that just are really delusional about it are going to succeed quicker. Like the person that doesn't question at all if their strategy works or not, and like if they're just like they're the person in the Discord that's just like completely defending their strategy, like no, like this works 100%, like I promise this works, like all this stuff. Those people succeed quicker at trading if they actually have a good strategy, because that 100% confidence, like it comes back to anything. It's like if you have like when you take 100% confidence, like what that really means is that you believe it without a doubt. There's no doubt in your mind. So it's like if you really believe 100% that what you're doing makes you money long term, you would never break your rules. And I kind of understood that. So I try and just, the closer I can get to believing what I do works, the better it will work for me. And for me, it's like it takes me longer than other people because I had so much self confidence or doubt. I didn't have enough self confidence in the strategy, my knowledge, all this stuff, and I still sometimes will struggle with it. Like literally last month when I blew all my accounts, I have a rough patch. Fell back into the same like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is gonna work. But then you literally just go on a week of really good trades and really good trading, and it reminds you like this is possible. This not easy, but it is simple. It's possible. It's doable. It just takes a little bit, and I always say it takes a little bit of luck to get you going. But once you see it for yourself, like when you really see for yourself a result come in, you know it's possible. Then yeah, you're gonna fall back into the like I'm taking a minimum payout because I just want to get the payout done. I don't want to have to worry about maybe taking a loss on my next trade and then being down and having to worry about the emotions. So, but I know that's possible, and the more you do it, like the more results you compound for yourself, the easier you're gonna be able to believe in it. Because all it is at the end of the day is believing that what you're doing works. Because again, 100% commitment and belief to it means you're not gonna break your rules. Because if you knew that what you're doing is gonna work, then you know not to break your rules because it literally wouldn't make sense. So the only reason you ever break your rules or overtrade or revenge trade is because you don't fully like maybe that 5% or 10% of doubt creeps in where you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I need to just gamble because I don't even know if it works anyway. So then you just gamble and that's not gonna work. But that's what I'm trying like I try to get to. And when I'm operating at a level where I'm just like confident every morning, like again these last like few weeks I've been like waking up a little more anxious to trade, a little bit more anxious of like I don't know how the day's gonna go. Am I gonna get set up? Am I gonna get the winning day? Am I gonna lose? But when I was trading really well at the beginning, like the middle of January, and when I was trading really well to get the consistent payouts, I really wasn't waking up nervous because I was that confident that what I was doing was working, that I could really find it. Because like that's why I wish that people were 100% transparent because it would give people more belief. Like if somebody could see like I like Patty and Blake. Maybe someday they get exposed for being frauds. Who knows? I really like them. I never like learned from them specifically, but I watch almost every one of Blake's recaps of his trades, like almost every single one. Um, like I watched this one yesterday where he took the trade because I trade pretty similar. Like IFEGs, like there's really only going to be a few that are very good in the day. Like they're pretty much the same trades all the time. Sometimes you might be short biased, so you fade a long that loses or X, Y, and Z. There's discretion to it. But I watch his trades a lot. And for me, it's like that helps me build the confidence because I'm like, okay, like every time I watch one of their videos, it's like it's like, man, that's so simple. Like it's so simple. It's so simple. So I wish though that they would show how much they spent on props, the actual payouts. I wish I could see real numbers, not because I'm a pocket watcher. Like I don't care how much money somebody has. Like I don't care if he has $1 million or whatever. I just want to know like because for me that's like literally why I start my channel is to show proof, and I'm like in the midpoint of it. And I know once I'm doing consistent numbers and can show the actual numbers behind it, it will inspire more people. I can't really inspire as many people as I would like to right now because I'm not like at that huge level. But again, it's not like a pocket watch sense. It's more of like I want to know what he's doing works. Like I want to see the proof because there, again, it's like it comes down to belief. So it's easier to believe in something when you see it with your eyes. So if I saw, hey, I spent If Blake was like, I spent $30,000 on prop firms last year and I made $250,000 or something like that, I would be like, wow, that's great. Because then I could see every one of his recaps. I could trust without a doubt because I trust them. Like I said, until something comes out, I actually trust that they're really legit traders and make money. But it's like you don't really know how much. You don't know if they're on a real losing streak right now. You don't know if they're on an up streak. Like you don't really know, and it's like that proof gives you zero doubt. When there's zero room to doubt, you're gonna execute better because you're gonna be like, oh well, I can spot like when you go through the day, it's like I can spot when Blake's probably gonna get a trade because of just I've seen enough of his recaps. So it's like if I can do that, you can do that in the market live. Take your own trades. You can learn from them. So if you have the utmost confidence that what they're doing works, it's just gonna make your trading better. So that's why like my goal, I cannot wait until I'm really doing consistent, huge amounts trading because I know it will inspire, it will build a lot more confidence in people. Because off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that actually shows like complete, full transparency of all of it. I mean, maybe there is some people, I don't really know, but I would just love for like Blake and them to do it because I trade so similar. So it's like then if I know okay they do it, I can do it. Just like anything with content or whatever, someone else can do it. Trading in general, I knew that somebody like trading as a whole couldn't all be a scam. Like somebody has to be making money. Other like nobody would do it. Like why would everybody? Like it, so it's just illogical that everybody's a scammer because there's people that aren't on social media that make money day trading. So it's like I knew that somebody could do it, I could do it, but that doesn't mean that you know the strategy. So it's like you want to have the best thing. So that's like my whole take on it all. I really think it's all self belief with the right information, but it's like that's why I always like that's why I'm so big on transparency is because again, it's not even about the money. It's about that what that does to somebody. Like, oh, I've made this because like right now I spent about 8,500 dollars in props. I've after today tonight it'll be like 23,000 or like 25,000 in payouts, like something like that. So profits. I don't know if that makes me profitable. I call myself profitable just to like reinforce the good message of it. But like I'm still so new to like making profits from it and all that that's like it doesn't really fill me with oh my gosh, yeah, I'm definitely profitable. I'm definitely like whatever. Like I'm still in that phase where I'm like looking in the mirror like you're profitable, profitable, profitable. You know what I mean? Like trying to not actually I don't sit in the mirror and actually do that, but it's more of like that reinforcement manifestation type thing rather than like zero doubt. Like I would say I'm at like 75% on my worst days. I'm at 70% belief, 30% doubt, and I really want that to be like nine. Like on my worst days, I want to be like 95% belief, 5% doubt, and I'm trying to like really close that line because, and that's kind of where I measure my trading because I mean there's times where I was at like 20% belief, 80% doubt, and it's just like building that threshold to get to that 95, 99, 100% belief, zero doubt, 5% doubt. Like that's where you want to be at because that's how you get to the full confidence. And it's possible. So yeah, kind of ramble again, man. I ramble so much, but
Yeah, no worries. So just that like that confidence factor and like not being delusional, but almost being so confident over time, like like you said, like even if not everyone's like even if people are lying about their success in trading, you know that there's someone out there who's actually doing it for real
yeah,
and just like almost manifesting your own success, not delusionally, but just, you know, just whether that's from getting into a trade or just in general, just having full confidence. Yeah, I think that's like very, very
I got one
valuable.
thing I just want to add on to the thing for the question about what kind of was a turning point. A big thing too, like I said, and like a lot of people say, like even ICT, which I don't love, like a lot of these guys they say like don't take it from me, take it from yourself. Like I don't journal all the time, but like I'll go through like at the end of the week, I'll go through the week and I'll look through and I'll be objective. I'll be like, okay, where were the steps I should have taken? Like the ones I know I should have taken, and the ones I took live, and I would compare it. And I remember seeing in my journal, I was like, wow, the first trade of the day that I take, the ones that I know I didn't FOMO, the ones that like I should have taken, like I'm profitable, like consistently I'm making money. So seeing it for myself, the decisions I actually decided on live time and thought about would have been profitable if I cut out all the other BS. So that was like a turning point because I was like this actually works. Like I actually had the proof that it works over a good amount of time. So I'm not like saying you have to journal like everything, all your thoughts, all this stuff, but just like kind of go through the the trading days that you've gone through and be like literally today I could look back at the market and be like, okay, like literally for my payout today, it was frustrating because I kind of just got caught up trying to long like really early on market open.
Hmm.
And it's like that wasn't really a great trade. It was just like, oh my gosh, I'm $150 away from a payout. Like I if it goes up here, I make money. But then the short is the one I would have really liked at like 942 would have been a really nice short.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, like I'll let you screen share so I can have the
Yeah,
context.
sure. It was a good short this morning.
Yeah. So it's like, and this is like again, this is where I built a lot of my confidence from my trading is that okay, so this short this morning, I came into the day kind of mixed bias. I was a little bit bullish, like for a move bullish later in the day because
Yep.
of, or at some point in the day because of the overnight sweep here, or not overnight, but the
Mm-hmm.
sweep of these lows right here. I've been looking for these to go higher. So when we came down, we were here pre-market and we were around here. I was like, oh, like this looks like we could potentially go higher.
Yeah.
But off open, we didn't get any setup. So off open, we wouldn't have got any long setup because besides maybe this one, you could have found something in here to go long to these highs. So that would have been
Yep.
a winning
I took
trade.
that
But
30
I tried to
second.
long. I literally longed on this candle, which is not how I trade. It didn't even give me an order block. Didn't give me any displacement. Didn't give me any fair value gap
Yeah.
conversion. So I was long in here. I took like two losses in here because I was so focused on payout. And it's like that's what's frustrating is that I know, like I quote unquote know better than to trade this, but I
Mm-hmm.
still took losses. And that's like once you realize that a lot of your losses are avoidable, which were these losses were so avoidable, and that the obvious stuff will print for you, that's when you'll do so much better. But it's still like even with my like quote unquote experience and the payouts I do have, and being up on prop firms and getting payouts monthly, and getting payouts and getting more than I spend on props consistently, like I still take these stupid trades right here. So it's like, and then I
Yep.
ended up getting this short, but I ended up having to over leverage a little bit and like chasing the whatever the to get to the certain target for the day. But it's like if I would have just not taken two stabs here because I was afraid that I was gonna pump up or something without me, which is just also not something that's actually a real thing, it, everything would have gone better. So it's
Yeah.
just it's a very interesting thing that's like when you so like that's what I would do as well when I was trying to flip that side to being profitable was I would just look through the days and I'd be like, okay, like looking at today, it's like this was the trade. Like there was nothing like maybe I long here and like a 30 second if I really want to because we
Yep.
swept this low and then we got this and we had equal highs. Okay, that's cool. But this is not a trade. What I took here is not a trade. And it's like, yeah, it's like you people will say that's hindsight cope, like whatever. But like from what I know this isn't a good trade, but I still took it. So it's like that's one that's like, yeah, I took the loss, but learning from it, yeah, I can't take this. And you're gonna learn the same lesson a million times. Like I've taken a trade like this a million times and lost on a million times, but that's just the repetition you need. You
Yep.
need repetition. It's just like a
Yep.
sport. So this trade here, so that's like I look at this day, I'm like, okay, cool. Thursday, like I'll go through this week as quick as I can. Okay, Thursday, this trade here, I've been done if I take a win. So this trade here, banger, done. Cool, great winning day. That's simple. Or maybe I took long, same thing. I would have won. So it's like I look at today, Thursday, and I even won today in reality, but like it was a frustrating kind of just over lever or revenge trading type of day. But I look at that day, I'm like, okay, well, I would have won if I just did what I was supposed to do. Then I look at yesterday, and you look at what was obvious in yesterday's market. I like if you take the long here, which Blake took yesterday, that's a great trade, and you would have printed. Um, and if you would have taken this short, it would have printed to these lows. So it's like that's a day that's a winning day if you just kind of do the right things. If or you could say, okay, I could have lost here if I took this short here, which I actually took an entry short here, end up covering my position for the winning day here. So it's like you could lose on that as well. But this trade's not as good because we had midnight open like literally a point above, and then we had the Asia high that was close. So I
Yep.
kind of anticipated to be a break even. So like I say I go break even too early sometimes, but then there's also situations with my trading where I want to go break even quick because I'm anticipating a lower probability or I'm expecting to maybe come back up. So, but regardless, that's a day where you could definitely, or let's just say that you took this loss, right? Because you're going to take some losses. Even if you took this loss, if you're not doing one trade a day, you're doing two trades a day. If you're short bias, you're gonna take this trade. Okay, you lost. But then guess what happens? If you stay confident, you don't do anything dumb. You don't just like immediately FOMO into something else. You wait for this next setup here. We get a high. We sweep out the
Yep.
highs. I think we had S&P. We have this move down. Okay, we don't have anything yet. Boom, this close right here. You could then get in. So even if you lost this first trade and you didn't win the long or whatever, you take the short bias still, and then boom, you print on the short
Yep.
and then maybe you hold all the way down here, maybe you don't. But it's like, so even if you did take this loss, which maybe you could avoid it, because, and that's the thing, it's like, it's all hindsight. Like me saying this, yeah, maybe I would have taken this short and maybe I would have lost. But then I could have still
Could
taken
have
this
found
short. So it's
that.
like, there's
Yeah.
still opportunities coming up on
Exactly.
the day. So that's Wednesday. It's like Wednesday was a green day. And it's like, again, this is all hindsight. So just like you sound like you're just like kind of kidding yourself.
Yeah.
But like then this day here, I had the short bias coming to market open. We never end up getting this, but like anywhere I would enter here, I entered this one here. It was like break even, or if you held your stop loss, it would have been a partial or a break even. So you wouldn't have really lost. You wouldn't have really lost here if you did the right thing. It's like I kind of look at these days, or like you could have shorted here because of this. If you got break even, you could have re-entered here when we inversed here, I guess, and whatever. So like this day, maybe you go you get break even or whatever. And then let's see, Monday. I don't really remember what Monday was.
I think Monday was kind of weird.
Monday was weird. I can't remember what happened here. I think I shorted this
Oh yeah,
potentially,
yeah. I shorted
but
that. I
I
think it
don't
went
know.
break
But
even.
like this short would have been fine. I think the longs. Oh yeah, Monday was weird. I shorted. It was really choppy, break even. It was the wrong bias, and it went long from here. But I mean, that's a no news. Like it was a no news Monday, and
Yep.
whatever. So you could. So it's like. So again, this is all rushed. I'm gonna start the screenshot, but it's like that's all a rushed. Could have done this, should have done this, but that's genuinely I think where I made the most progress is looking back through weeks and just that built like going back to this week's give me a lot of confidence in myself. That's like, hey, I've probably taken 5 unnecessary losses today or this week, taking a setup because of X, Y, or Z instead of just waiting for the clear and obvious. Because somehow we convince ourselves that the clear and obvious setup's not going to show up today, which it shows up every single or every other day at least. But then we tell ourselves 5 minutes into market open, oh, we might not get it today, it might go without me. And then you just fall into FOMO because you focus on payouts. So even just doing that, something like that is something I would do a lot or still do is just go through that previous week because I can still remember, like I can go through this week and almost remember every single thing I thought live time because it's just been this week. I can't go back 2 months and think about the price action. So it's like, it's not really, that's why like going back like that is almost better than just having a big journal and going back like 3 months ago because you can't really remember. But if I go back to this week, I can remember what I was thinking live and I can say, okay, well, that's why this was wrong. That's why this was better. And then you can learn from it. And then it builds the confidence like, hey, this week actually, based on what I know and what I've learned, this week could have been really good. Like I could have had like 1 loss, maybe 2 losses, and I could have had like 5 wins. And then when you start seeing, wow, every week I'm having like 4 wins to 2 losses, it's like there's very rarely where you look back at the week and be like, all the setups I know I should be taking, I lost more than I would have won. Like it very rarely happens. But then you look back and it's like, oh, like today, that long I took, like if it works, you might kind of like, but you wouldn't really look back and be like, the entry itself. Like, yeah, if the next candle came in closed good, then it would look better, but it's still from the time of your entry, it didn't look as good. And that's why I lost, or like that's part of the reason I lost. So it's like you got to just be honest with it and reflect, but it gives you that confidence of like, hey, like, just be more patient, be more patient. So I would always try and tell myself, like, just be more patient. Know that what you're doing, like, that's why when people say if you like blow an account or something like, oh, you just ruined a month of progress, 2 months of progress, like, you don't lose any progress. Like, you still have the same skill set that if you didn't blow your accounts, like you still saw the charts, you still got better. Like every day that you show up and you look at the charts, you're getting better. So that's kind of like the point I wanted to make on like the turning point per se is just it's really just about showing up every single day. That's like the turning point is just showing up.
Yeah, I think that's really valuable. Definitely one of the things I still struggle with the most is like forcing a totally mid trade because you think it's going to go without you, and you like you said like
Yeah,
you're worried there might be not another trade like that day, or like what if I miss this? You know what if that's the last good trade of the week? You know, and so
yeah,
like I find myself like I'll force like a trade that's just so mid, and then just for like 5 minutes later for an A plus setup show up. You
yeah,
know,
right, bro.
and
I
it's
that
so I
should
literally
not
like
be.
one of my note I like have note cards of like thoughts I want to remember as I'm trading, and then one of them is
Yeah,
it basically just says there's always going to be a good setup. Remember, don't cancel out the good
yeah,
ones with the bad ones.
100%, dude.
So
Like,
that's yeah, that's absolutely key. Because like this
yeah,
morning, I took the 30-second inversion to the equal highs, and then I
yeah,
also was thinking it's
they
like
can't.
same thing as you. I was thinking like I could just enter long right here. I like there's the momentum. I just wanted to like kind of gamble, get in, and just like long right there. And
Yeah,
luckily I didn't today, but there's been many times where I've done
yeah,
the exact same thing. Like so it's so
yeah,
unnecessary, but yeah, well, yeah, thank you for that. And then the last question I had, um, kind of just your goals and plans, like in moving forward, like whether that's with content or trading or payouts, like in the next, like, say like the next like 6 months to a year. I like obviously I'm not a fan of like setting a limit, like oh I have to make this much money by then. Like no, it'll happen when it
yeah.
happens. So what are your like kind of upcoming goals? I would say, and then to finish off the interview, what's your advice to people who may not think trading is possible or they are just struggling?
Yeah. All right, perfect. For the goals, kind of similar to you. Like, I don't really love having like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this, but I have a few like loose goals. I don't care if it's a trading channel, a personal channel. I want to hit 100,000 subscribers someday. I mean, I would love a million, but 100,000 is cool because I'd love to have one of those plaques that just throw on the back of my wall with those like subscriber plaques. My freaking luck, dude. By the time I get there, they'll stop doing that for people. They'll stop but that's like the scarcity mindset, bro. That's the thing that kills you when you trade and everything. You can't think like that, but that's how I think. Like, oh, I'm gonna get profitable and prop firms are gonna go away. It's like just not
That
really
yeah, I always
how
think
it
that
works.
like
I kind of think the same thing with like
yeah.
YouTube. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get 100,000, then they'd be like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. There's too many people. But I really want that someday. It's like when I break down the math, like at this last month, I made like 171 subscribers, which I'll have months where I'll do more, I'll have months where I do less. But then I like break down the numbers. Like I'm gonna do it right now, 100,000 minus 8,170. I think I have now. If I divide that by 170, that would take me 540 months. Divided by 12, that would take me 45 years. So like clearly, I got to do something to change things if I want to get there anytime soon. So, but who knows, right? If I start gaining 5,000 subs a month, but I don't know. Like I don't know how to get to these goals of mine, but 100,000 on YouTube is something I want. I really just like I want like and this like the shorter term ones like 10K on Instagram and TikTok just because honestly just for the number to kind of like be more social proof of like I don't know. I just think that like I have like 2K on Instagram right now. I started like a few months ago, and I have like 5K on TikTok. I'm almost like a year in. I just want like 10K on that and Twitter just to kind of like be there. Like my like 6 month goal for everything on social media wise is just to get like 10K on literally every platform. Should be possible. Because then it's just like okay, like it kind of like I kind of like do this now. And then trading wise, this year, I do have a number goal for this year. It's 100,000 for payouts. I don't know if that's gonna be like profit per se, but I do want to just get 100,000 payouts. So like I guess that could be cool. Dude, it's like if I get 100K payouts and 50K in profit, that's kind of like mid, but that would still be sick. But let me just say like 100K in profits, but that's gonna be hard. And then it's like, then it's like if you start getting closer, I don't want to think about it, but that's just like a cool number, 100K in payouts. But realistically, I'm just trying to get as many payouts as consistently as I can. So I don't like, I'm not gonna worry. Like I literally won't care about the 100,000 because you only get the 100,000 by getting you have to get payout 1 through 10,000 to get to payout 10 through 50 to 50 through 100. So it's just like each payout's just as important as that last one. So that's kind of like there for that. And then in terms of like my life goals, man, honestly, like I don't know, you didn't really ask the life goal, but really kind of similar. Like in terms of like money, it's like bro, I have a number and it's like a big number because of like I definitely think bigger than like an average person, but for the people like TGR, this is like a small number. My number's like $5 to $8 million is like if I can have that invested and like saved up or something, like that's like my number where I'm like, okay, everything else after this is just like for fun because I kind of break it down as like if someone gave me $8 million tomorrow, that's $100,000 for 80 years. Like I'm not gonna live to be 100 what would that 102 like 101. So for me, I'm like that's my number where I'm like okay, I'm retired. So I'm trying to be as aggressive as possible to get to $5 to $8 million. Five would be obviously 50 years at 100K. That's like literally making no money on your money, not investing, doing nothing. It's like you could just spend $100,000 a year, which I know that some people don't even make $100,000 a year. So that's like the number where it's like, okay, I'm retired. And then if you are smart, which I'll be smart about it, I'll invest it, then I'll be fine. So it's like I have like a number where I'm like the quickest I can get to this number, which I mean, literally, like it seems far away, but then you look at guys like Patty and Blake, and they'd make that in a year. So it's like they hit my retirement number in 1 year. So it's like it's possible. I'm not saying I can do that right away, but that's like my goal. That's like my long term goal. And again, I set my long term goals as like this is what I want. But if I can make 100 million, I'll make 100 million. Like I'm not gonna stop myself. But I just have like a certain benchmark of like okay, that's where all my like and again I like fall into the trap of like oh I'll start making this much a month then I'll be happy and it's like not really true and it's the same thing with like oh like if I had 5 million like I could sit here and tell you that if I had $5 million I would be like fine to retire which I would be but that's not going to solve everything that's just a figure that gives you the comfortability of hey I don't need any money ever again at all so that's like my long-term goal I like content in terms of actionable not like numbers wise I want to start I'm going to Man, I hate even saying it because I haven't even started doing it. I've told myself this so many times, but I want to start making just personal content. Um, yeah, just every month I want to add one new skill. Like I not skill even, but I always try and add one new thing. Like I added Instagram in like December or like or not February, November, December. I added like Instagram because I was like, okay, I need to get on Instagram. So I started doing Instagram. Then I was like, okay, now I need to start posting 5 times a week on or 5 times a day on Twitter. So I started doing that. So it's like I always try and add something to get into a routine, and then like now I read my Bible every morning for like 30 minutes. So that's something I've added. So I want to keep adding things and adding things and adding things. So I need to add another thing soon. I haven't really leveled up in any sense recently. So I think what it'll be is just like the personal content and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's kind of boring, like boring goals and stuff, but
Oh, not at all.
it's that's the thing that people I feel like get like people want that overnight success, and I'll probably like my goal is to look like an overnight success, but then people don't see like the 3 4 years of like just the grind to get to that takeoff where it goes from zero to like hopefully a lot. But who knows, man? And for what was the last part of the question? I kind of remember about
Oh,
like
just
the
basically like, I guess people who were like if you look back to your days when you didn't like you were just hoped one day you
oh
maybe even get one payout. Yeah.
yeah. I would say you gotta one the best thing I would say is that I think how do I put this? I'm a lot more confident that it's possible now, and I think it's possible. Like I say that as I'm not saying that as if it's not possible, but you're going to doubt yourself the whole entire time because it is difficult, and that's just human nature. But it's about not letting the doubt keep you unmotivated or not work hard or not show back up. That's literally it. It's I'll still wake up sometimes. And beginning of February, I was like, I genuinely don't know if what I'm doing works. Then 2 weeks later, I was doing good again. I was like, wow, this is so easy. And it's just gonna be that constant cycle. So you kind of want to manage when you're, oh my gosh, this is so easy. This is too easy. You want to manage that. But then when it's, oh my gosh, this doesn't work. This is impossible. You want to manage that as well. So I would say for everybody, just keep your, like, just try and stay like a good base of just emotions and just chill and just commit to the process. Like it takes time. Like, don't worry about how long it takes. Yes, if you're 10 years in and you're not getting any results, maybe you need to reflect and say, maybe this isn't going to work for me. But if you're 6 months in, don't even think about anything. Don't like literally don't even think about, oh my gosh, this isn't working. Like you're 6 months in. If you're a year in, you still probably like as if you know you're doing the right work, and that's the thing, man. I'll get so frustrated myself. Like I don't not with trading because I show up and put the work in for like the trading. That's like easy, and that should be easy for you if you're trying to trade. Like it should be easy to show up every day and watch the charts. But it's the same thing for like if I want to have a better like I'll get really frustrated sometimes outside for like different goals I have. If I know I'm not doing what I need to do, if I show up and I'm like, okay, I didn't do this and this today, I didn't get any better at this, like I literally wasted today, then you can get frustrated, and that's a worse feeling. But if you are doing everything you need to, you're showing up, you're trying to get better each and every day, then you're doing what you need to. So don't get worried about the results. Don't get frustrated at anything else. Like you're doing what you need to do. Just keep doing it and just trust the process. But if you're not waking up for the morning session, the trade, and you trade maybe one or like it's like I can't process this idea, but I've met people where they're like, yeah, I trade, but then they show up literally like 2 days out of the week, and it's like you're not even trying. But like for them, they say they're trying. So it's like if you know that you're really putting in the work, trust the fact that it's going to work for you. As long as you, again, you gotta. It's like you can post a YouTube video every single day, but if you're not trying to figure out what titles are going to work better, if you're not trying to think of better content ideas, if you're not trying to like improve yourself, yes, you show up every single day. There's a million channels that have a million posts, but then there's a channel that has 10 posts that has a million subscribers. It's just because there's a different level of focus and attention to what they're doing. So it's not all about consistency, but it's about consistency with the right things. And it is hard to know if you're doing the right thing with trading, but if you find like that's again, find somebody that really is honest with their stuff, that's really transparent, that's really crushing it, like really crushing it. That's very hard to find, but like I don't know. I like patting them until proven wrong. Like look at what they're doing, try and learn from what they're seeing. Like that's literally how I learned. I just learned, and Justin might be a fraud, but I literally learned a lot from him of how I see the market. Take the things they tell you and look for it for yourself and see, okay, how's this fair value gap? And you don't have to trade fair value gaps, but just what I know, fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps, SMTs, inversions, that type of stuff. Like if you just look for that stuff and you see what somebody says about it, a data high or something, and then you start looking at it and you start seeing how it reacts. Just try and adapt, try and learn from it, and you'll gain the experience. It's like it's so cliche to say trust the process, but you literally just got to trust the process because that's all you can do. Like You either don't try and it doesn't work, or you try and it doesn't work, but it's not going to work if you don't try. It's like the cliche things. That's what, like, everybody knows the right answers. Like a person that started trading last month could sit here and make the great psychology video, because psychology, psychology, psychology. Everybody's going to deal with certain things. Like somebody might struggle with greed. Some people might struggle with fear of losing. Like it's two different struggles, but everybody knows the things. Everybody knows that you're supposed to show up, risk, use proper leverage, take your A plus setup, hold your trade properly, don't overtrade. Everybody knows those are the only pillars. Some people could take 50 trades a day, and that's not overtrading, right? If you're hyper scalp or whatever. Some people could trade with two minis, and that's not over leverage. Some people, so we all have our different levels for these different things, but every trader, it all comes down to this: don't over leverage. Take the setup when you see your setup. Only take your setup. Hold the trade how you're supposed to hold your trade. Show up the next day. And if you're doing those things, you're going to get better and it's going to work eventually. But those things are easier said than done. So that's like my advice, I guess, final advice to people.
Yeah, just controlling the inputs to the best of your ability, doing what you know works, and then just watching the results yield over time, I guess. Yeah.
So,
Well, that kind of wraps up all the questions I have. Yeah, I really appreciate your time and all the valuable insight. I'm sure if anyone watches this, I know some people definitely will. There's definitely like a lot you can get from this entire thing, and some people might be encouraged in a lot of good ways. But yeah, dude,
100%.
thank you.
Yeah,
Definitely
man,
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate you having me.
of course. Probably just end it there then.